Hello, hello, hello. Hello, everyone. Hi, hello. Welcome. So today is August 19th. Welcome to the 8:30 Motivation and Manifestation Challenge with me, your host, L Peaches Coates, Prophet Peaches, Coach Peaches, just Peaches. That's who I am. And I am a business coach, motivational speaker, inspirational mother, and I help women be able to go down deep down with the inside of them and find out what their gifts are, bringing them up, teaching them how to manifest it into business startup, and being able to go forward on online business. And so today, what I want to do today is we're going to talk about um, one of the most common mistakes that a lot of entrepreneurs make in the midst of starting their business, right? So, welcome to the broadcast on tonight again for the 8:30 motivation and manifestation. Um, what we've been doing for 30 days. This month is my birthday month, and on 8:30, August 30th, I will turn 48 years old. So if God blesses me to be able to see age 48, I wanted to come on every day in tribute to the women that I work with, right? And to be able to share with those women that have never heard of me, or men, I have a few brave men, but to be able to hear from me and share with what's going on in life, especially with business in the kingdom. So I am the owner of the Single Mom Survival Club and the Women Entrepreneurs of Faith in Business Academy. And so what we do is we help women get ready to stand firm and strong in the business environment, being able to take back what is rightfully ours and what we should be having, being able to step up to the plate and help with our families' finances, as well as our children being able to have a role model to watch, right? And so, how do we do that? We do that by first putting the kingdom of God first and His righteousness. We seek for wisdom because it's the principal thing, and the Bible tells us with all of our getting to get an understanding. And then number five, we are talking about love more so than anything. Why? Because God has made us the grace on earth. But when we talk about business ownership, businesses have been run continuously, and so business has been here even before God placed people here. Ooh, that's a good topic. You'll want to be in my prayer and journaling, my prophetic prayer and journaling course that will be coming up shortly. So I will be having the list to be able to place your name on as we release, but we'll be releasing that very soon. Possibly as soon as the end of next week, we'll be offering that course, right? So what I'm doing right now, I just want to verify that I can be heard. If you can hear me, would you please, I guess I should be able to see your comments first for you. I don't know how to see the comments on this side, so my apology. Everything kind of shifted slightly, and so I am kind of, let me get my handy dandy pen. Let's see if this does it. Nope, that allows me to make a comment. So anyway, we'll go from there. Um, so I just wanted to know if I can be heard. If you can hear me, just if you would, please, just give me some hearts right now and let me know that you can hear me so that I am sure that I am just not talking to me, myself. Because on this side of the camera, you kind of don't know either way unless the people interact with you. So, well, I got confirmation that I can be heard. So let's get started. Today, we are talking about the one thing that entrepreneurs tend to forget in their businesses and business startup. Thank you so very much for that heart. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the hearts. Keep them going, guys, because sometimes I'm sitting here and it looks like I am just in bright lights looking at myself and talking to myself, right? And then I get inboxes that tell me, thank you for what you've done or it's helped. And so that helps tremendously. That's what keeps me going. But most importantly, just let me know that you can hear me. Hey, Rodney, how are you? And then Facebook does not give updates the way they used to give them in order to be able to, have a clue. So the first step that most entrepreneurs in business that they missed or they underestimate in their business is being able to go in and find out who their ideal client is. Yes, right. We call it the avatar. If you've ever studied with me and in any of my classes, and so what happens with the avatar is everybody seems to think, oh, Rodney, that's so sweet. Everyone seems to think that, I know what my target market is. They're usually targeting people in the income bracket. Boom, that's it. Everyone that's breathing, that's my target market. Boom, no. It's not how it works. You have to narrow down in your niche who your target market is. This is very important. Hey, DJ Flavor, what's up? Thank you so much. Peace unto you as well, my brother. And so when we start talking about our avatar, and we're talking about the one thing that we're overlooking, I've talked to so many entrepreneurs as well, and so many of them have gotten valid information. They've come into workshops, they've come into webinars, they have read our books, they have consumed the knowledge, but a lot of times they have come from a place and they can't understand why they have not done what it is that they've called that they were supposed to do. Thank you so much. Hey, Lynette. Hey, Sissy Pooh. So, what they tend to do is, I know who my target market is. I know that it is females, or I know that it is husbands and wives, or it is adults, or that it's children. But what we have to do is bring that and bring it down closer in the strategy. So I have a little session that I do. I'm going to give you a little bit of it. And so how we end up starting to find out from scratch, I take all of them back to scratch because some of them have businesses that are up, but they're not prospering and moving as fast as they should. Some of them have been stuck in the ballast. Some of them have been in a cave. They've retracted, feeling like, maybe I'm not supposed to do this. And that's not true. But the principal thing is wisdom, right? And so if we talk about wisdom, what creates wisdom? What is wisdom? Wisdom is knowledge that's applied. So in other words, you've got to be able to educate yourself or teach yourself. And then when you go and apply it into what you're doing. So and in this instance, if you go and let's talk about your avatars and who you're doing business for. Hey, sister. And you start talking about who you're doing business for and with. When we get deeper and deeper in that, when you pull it down until your speech is only talking to those people. So for instance, for me, my target market is women entrepreneurs of faith. What does that mean? They're not just females, right? They're not just Americans, right? But they are female entrepreneurs of faith. They love God. There's so many of us that just love God, and then we're in the midst of other people trying to get businesses started, and we're confused and we're stuck because we can't understand how these two pieces come together. So many years people have left business over here, and then they've left their spirituality over here. They go and sit in church on Sundays. They smile, they wave, they hug some folks, and they're cute, and they go home, and then they go and do business. Not so. We want success. We want wealth. Wealth is a combined balance of life, mind, body, and spirit. So you want to be in good health. You want to be in good mental health. You want to have your emotions at a balance as well from the things that you've dealt with in the history. So which means what? Healing. So how do we start wife with life, burial insurance? My target market would be everyone. No, ma'am, Pam. No, your target market wouldn't be everyone. You can talk to everyone about insurance, but the streets are so loud. Everyone's talking about something. Pay attention. You can scroll on social media and it will never end with people talking about something. So the key is you need to narrow down who are you talking to. So that's some of the process that I want to start with, because so you know that you are working with life and burial insurance, right? Okay, but who needs life and burial insurance? Everyone, because the one thing that we do know that's going to happen with us is we're going to transition at some point and we're going to need burial, right? However, everyone would not be your target. Why? Because when a person needs to purchase something, no one wants to be sold anything, but yet we all purchase continuously every day, right? Right. We go to Walmart every day. Every day, Walmart markets, CVS, Walgreens, they market. You know, McDonald's, they market. McDonald's doesn't have the best burgers on earth, but their marketing strategy and who they were looking for is what created the dynamic difference between them. You remember years ago when Burger King and McDonald's were like head and head. Well, we can all agree that while that McDonald's does not have the best burger that you can experience on earth, they don't, right? But what they did is they went and trusted a marketing team, a strategy to be able to come up with a strategy to pull their customers in to speak to a particular customer, right? Because you have a lot of niches that are in the world. You've got females who feel like cussing. I heard a young lady say that if she doesn't hear a person swear, she doesn't trust them. I just laughed. I don't swear. Now you could go back in my history, you could catch a whole bunch of stuff, but I don't swear, and I'm probably, because I know me and she doesn't, I know that I'm probably one of the most trusting and loyal people that she could have a conversation with. I don't even know her, but I could be, if she talks to me, what she says to me one-on-one would be not going to the rest of the world. So I know who I am. I know that I would never steal from you. I'm not going to take anything from you. So she didn't know that, right? Lynette, you have to know who your people are. So how do you begin doing that? First of all, you start by prayer. You start by prayer and you start petitioning heaven. You talk to God. You're trying to find out, who am I first? Because the thing with God is when we come to him, first person he shows us is ourselves. Everybody always comes and say, and God showed me such and such and such about you. No, baby, that was about you. I could count the number of times I've heard that, and it was about the person that came to me in regards to it. So it kind of, the thing that burned my button, and we'll talk about those things that burn your button and how it relates to this as well, is people when they're standing in a good service in church, in a conference, or even a business seminar, a symposium, when someone is trying to target what you've been doing wrong so that they can help you flip it so that you can do right and get better. What ends up happening is we realize that the person that's always trying to point to someone else, ooh, that's her, trying to strategically break her down and bust her bubble when you haven't started here first with your own self. And so many times we can deal with ourselves. So number one, what you want to start with is prayer. Number two, you're going to start with you and list, what have you done in your life and what have you accomplished? Because there's a benefit to everything you've done. For me, I started off into this business arena online. When I had to narrow down and niche down, I had to find out that, I'm a single specialist when it comes to, being single and dating. But at first when I started out, I was more like, maybe I don't have what it takes to be someone's wife. You kind of get those moments every so often. But the bottom line is, once I broke it down and I had to get some clarity and strategy and understood what was going on with me, the problem was I have seen so much that I know what it looks like, right? But on top of that, I've been working on myself so much that I know what an imposter looks like. So if I've taken time with myself and asked myself, what do you believe in? Do you believe in God, or do you believe in nothing? Or do you believe in, Satanism? Like, are you a witch? Like, what do you believe in? Like, not what your mom and your grandma believed in. Not the thing that you grew up regurgitating, but what do you really believe? And so that was something that I had already done inside of myself, is to say, that's that moment when God is not your mom's God, not your dad's God, not your great grandmother's God, not Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob's God only, but he has to become your God. So a lot of people have thoughts every day. They're yelling Christianity, they're sitting in churches, but they don't really have thoughts like Christians. They don't really believe that God, or they have questions that aren't being answered. And so it's another reason why a lot of people want to work with me as a prophet of the Most High God, but also as a business coach, as a strategist, as a certified life coach. They want to work with me. Why? Because they get a benefit from the spiritual, from the mental, and from the emotional. So I had to start with, what did I do? So I had a long list, and I tried to find it for you guys, a long, like 2-page list. At first, when my business coach was asking, what have you done in your past? I'm thinking, I haven't done anything. She was like, you've done something. You went to school. I'm like, okay, yeah. So I went to school for for a bachelor's degree. Went to school for medical and dental office management, cosmetology. I was a dental technician. Let's keep going. There's a lot of them, right? This world owes me nothing. I have absolutely enjoyed life. So I have gone to school for cosmetology, for modeling, for massage therapy. I'm a licensed massage therapist. For did I say cosmetology? Cosmetology. There's so many things. So when I got out of school, I continued to go to school for things that were interested to me. Some people wanted to call it a hobby, but for me, in that season of my life, it was not a hobby, and it was something that I needed to learn to be built to be who I am now, right? Hey, LaTanya. For me to be, I'm sorry, Tanya. I hate when people just change your whole name. And so I had to learn all of who I was, and I had to realize, okay, I'm a mother. Okay, I'm single. I've been single most of my adult life. So I have been able to help people that are married and single and going into relationships. Why? Because I'm not single because there's some ill issues in the inside of me, or that there was something that I didn't heal from. But I'm single because I understand that I have a huge mantle, and where I'm going, everyone can't go with me. Now, I've dated in the past, and it seemed like it was amazing during that time. And so I know. And then I also have friends who have met some really good guys according to who they are and what they're going through in life. And so sometimes we all have to get together and start putting our 2 cents in about, girl, how to go home and do this, right? How will you handle the process of what's happening? And so that's very important. So back to the hand, start with a list of what you've done and what you've accomplished. Are you a mother? Have you had previous businesses in your life like me? I have been a business owner. I started entrepreneurship at the age of 7 years old. What age would you? You know, if you were a child, you were an entrepreneur longer than you were ever a parent, right? So being a parent, being single, being an entrepreneur, being a massage therapist, being in the medical field, being in the dental field. I wanted to be a dentist in my life. That was my aspiring goal was initially in high school. And you couldn't tell me that I wasn't going to be. And most people probably would have voted that I would have been. But situations changed. But what I realized is all the things that I ended up doing in my life, being people like to say what do they call it? A master of none. I can't think of what it's called. But you dabble and dabble in a number of things. Why? And so a lot of people like to talk bad about it and say, okay, you're a master of none. No, no, no. I was a master of each one of them in that season of my life. And it prepared me for the next season, for the greater season. Not just because I'm a prophet, but your life is prophetic. Why? Because you came from a prophetic word when God spoke and said, "Let there be man," and then it wasn't good that man was alone, and gave him a helpmeet, right? So we came from a prophetic word. So you have to have a prophetic purpose in your life. So if you were into something in the previous season, you can go and take out the good in that situation and prepare you for the next season. It helps you know what things were at its best and what it was at its worst. It just helps you tremendously. But it helps narrow down who you are, because why? Like I was saying, we don't like to just be sold anything, but we make purchases every single day, almost, right? So what creates a purchase between you and a person is, first of all, a person has to be able to trust you. I'm not going to give you my hard-earned green money if I don't believe that you're going to do me right. If you're not going to give me the product that you said that you would give me, I'm not going to give you my money. If I don't know for sure if you are a person that will give me my product, then I don't know. If I haven't dealt with prayer, if I'm not dealing with trying to figure out about your spirit, being able to decipher if your spirit is good or not, or if someone has already given you a recognition, a word of mouth, or if I've seen you over and over and over and over again for years doing the same thing, then I'm thinking, oh, wow, she must be, or he must be doing this thing right, and that's what I need. I'm coming to you, right? And that's all about your marketing strategy. So you're going to write down a whole list of everything you've done. Then you're going to come back And then you're going to talk about your pet peeves. Remember I said that thing that burns my button? You start writing down those things that frustrate you the most in life when you're dealing with people, because that's usually part of the mantle that you have. If you're noticing that a lot of people around you are, that they're walking around every single day and they're not taking note and appreciation for how their spouses are helping them, let's just say that, something like that, then what ends up happening in that case, this is just an example, but in that case, then it might frustrate you every time you see them, and you're seeing more and more of them because they're just not being appreciative of their spouses, right? And so that may be something that you have to work with a little bit more if you find yourself talking to them. We're talking about where to get started in your business to narrow down your niche and bring your avatar down even closer. So you want to know what your pet peeve is, because that's part of who you are and what you're going to be able to do for someone else. You want to talk about, you want to find out, what are people asking you the most about, right? So when your friends are calling you every day, what are they asking you about? So as Lynette was speaking about her selling life and burial insurance, you want to find out, what are your friends asking you the most about? So if they're not calling her about life and burial insurance, but they're calling you about, let's just say, long-term disability insurance, you might want to go look in that plan. If you've gotten 10 calls in a day saying, hey, I know you sell life and burial insurance, but can you tell me about disability? I don't understand. It's not that expensive. Why is it so cheap compared to every other type of insurance? And then you have to keep explaining the same thing over and over again, right? And so then you would also know that you'd have to take note, are women talking to me? Is it men that are talking to me? Is it people that are already business minded that are talking to me? Are these people that have no business savvy or sense that are talking to me? That's not meaning in a bad way, but everyone is not business inclined, and that's what I'm meaning. And so find out who they are. It helps narrow your niche down on who you should be talking to in your business, right? So if you're having just women that are coming from every diversity, you're having Asian women at work asking you the question. You're having, your females in your family that may be African American. You have your Caucasian friends that are asking you. You have other African Americans that are asking. You're part of, this group over here and this group over here. And so start looking at the similarities of the people that are asking you the same questions, right? And then that thing that you can do while you are asleep. One of my coaches said, you want to be doing whatever it is that you can do if you're not even half doing well. She was talking about she wasn't feeling well and she ended up in her bed. And so, being in online ministry and online businesses, you can kind of sit up for a few minutes and still have a conversation with your friends or your group at that moment that you're feeling well, and then go back to laying down. Unlike if you were going to a job, you need to be there for the 8 full hours. If you go home, then it's sick time, right? So, so you want to see what it is that you can do so simply in your life that you don't even have to have a second thought about it. I have a friend of mine that is an admin out of this world. I don't know anyone else like her. We can sit down and have a conversation about life, about business, about ministry, about whatever. And 5 minutes after you get off the phone, she's going to forward you a whole chart about everything that was talked about. If it was just you and her, she's going to talk about what you talked about and what she talked about. If you committed to something, she's going to say what you committed to. If you're trying to work towards something, she's going to give you what you're working towards. Like 5 minutes after the call, she is dynamic. Now, I can put a flow chart together from a conversation, but it's going to take me time. I have to write the notes. I got to go home and then reprocess them. I want to type them up. I want to get them together. And then I want to come back and then I want to put a whole flow chart together. It's going to take me 20 minutes in, Excel to put that together, figure out who said what. I'm going to forget something. I got to call somebody. But in 5 minutes, she can flow and lay that chart out. I absolutely love that. I love that about her. And so find out who you are and what you're absolutely good at. Now, naturally in life, people try to tell you to Find that thing that you're not good at and then work on it and get it better. Kick rocks. That doesn't make sense when you're talking about your business. Robert Kiyosaki loves to say, you hire somebody smarter than you are to do what you can't do or what you could do, but it's not your strength. You figure out what your place is going to be in your business. So in other words, are you the PR person that will be speaking in front of a camera? If you're not a good camera person, you're not the person that we should be sending to speak in front of a camera immediately. You may be at some point in time, you may be prepared, but that's not your thing. You have the person that, are you the person that handles the finances and the money? Can you keep those reports together? Can you adjust the reports according to the way things are happening, the way products are going out, the way money is coming in? Can you balance the sheets? Can you help at goal setting? Can you help with financial goals, or can you just help with only the personal goals of each person in the company? Are you excellent? When I was in corporate America, I had Six Sigma training, which is basically teaching you how to go and look at the business and then think outside of the box, right? Get yourself outside of the box and figure out how to save this company money, how to do something greater for the company, how to help the company benefit and be able to bring in more money. And how do you do that? You come back in, they train you, and you go back into your personal departments in your strength areas, excuse me, and figure out whose strength is what in those areas. Excuse me. And then there, you find out what your strength is. The next thing that you want to do after you figured out what your pet peeves are, with that, what can you do to assist those people, easily? The path of least resistance in most cases. What can you do to help them with pleasure? So all of this comes back to when Lynette talked about her life and burial insurance. We have to go deeper. Who have you already helped with your life and burial insurance? Like, if you've helped 200 people, what was the common denominator of those 200 people? Like, what did they relate to in you in order for them to come to you? Where were you? Did you do ads on Facebook? Did you do Google ads? Did you do your local radio station or television ads? Like, how did you bring those people into your business, right? And start talking to them. And then you have to figure out what's your niche in that market? So you're selling life and burial insurance, but what's your niche? I've seen even people walk with the pink hair. You have some people that are always going to have on bright, lavish colors. Some women, their face are just going to be laid in makeup. Beautiful hair is going to be laid. They might wear the same hairstyle. I saw one of the young ladies that's a friend of mine the other day, and I thought to myself, she always has two-strand twists. And as I went through her profile, I realized, first of all, they are absolutely beautiful on her. But as I went through her profile, I realized she's been wearing those two-strand twists since 2009 when she came to Facebook, or I'm assuming when I came to Facebook. She was wearing those twists that whole time. You can tell that different people did them. She's employed different people to do the job, but she saw something that looked amazing on her and she went with it. And so, it works for her, but she always has those two-strand twists. I thought that was amazing. So if she was doing business with you, she's the lady with the two-strand twist that loves God. Like, in my mind, that's what she is. That's what she's marketed to me. I don't know how many other people noticed that about her, but I did. If you look at some of the brands that are out, and you talk about, let's just say Coca-Cola. Okay, so Coca-Cola, you can tell when you see that brand, boom, you know who Coca-Cola is. Why? Because they have come to you right where you were. Let's go back to McDonald's. McDonald's is one that people see a lot, but how did McDonald's marketing strategy come? Yeah, everybody likes burgers. So when you ask, can everybody be your customer? Everyone is not your customer. Everyone likes burgers that eats cow, right? Not everybody in the world, but that eats cow. But that wasn't their marketing strategy. So McDonald's changed their business and shot up onto the top in marketing because their marketing team decided to come in and do something where they thought outside of the box. McDonald's does not have the absolute best burger, but what McDonald's does have is McDonald's catered to women, to mothers that had small children, you see. So because they realized in the market, and that was my next thing, is find the problem that your customers have in the market. So McDonald's found out that women as they were out shopping and doing different things, they used to want, you want to stop, you want to feed the kids real quick, and you want to keep going or on the way home. And so, but what they were lacking a lot of times is a woman to be able to come in with her baby and change the baby, right? Or I don't want my little 2-year-old sitting on the toilet in the bathroom, so we're trying to hurry up and wipe the toilet off. We got to keep wipes in our purse if you're like me, and then you got to go back and try it with some tissue, and then let that little baby sit on the toilet, and their little bladders can't hold that long. So my daughter, when she was little, 2 years old, sometimes she didn't make it in time for me to prep her whole toilet, right? And so McDonald's provided, they went to some place that you would never think of, which their target market was women, which was mothers. And then they went and found out what was the biggest problem with mothers was that they needed clean bathrooms and needed changing tables, which turned the century for women in public, because then after McDonald's did it, others started doing it. But what it did is every woman now not just thought about McDonald's as, I want a burger, because Burger King had burgers, Wendy's had burgers, McDonald's has burgers, Five Guys and Fries has burgers. A lot of people have burgers, but what we came to realize during that time, McDonald's took pride in keeping a clean bathroom, and they made sure that they had teammates, an additional teammate that they added to the team, who their job was to keep the facilities clean. Now I'm riding down the street and my baby says she has to use the bathroom, and what better way for you to be able to make some to give some spontaneous money or spontaneous purchases? You got to take the babies to use the bathroom. Where can you use it? McDonald's had marketed themselves so well that they had clean bathrooms and changing tables for their mommies. So guess where mommy's going to stop at to go to the bathroom? She wasn't going to buy anybody a Happy Meal. All she wanted to do is get home from the mall, but the baby can't hold it. Mommy, I can't hold it. And they see the little golden arches and they stopped and they used the bathroom. Then you got to buy a toy. Now, some kids really like burgers. My oldest daughter, she just wanted a toy. And then the other ones ended up liking burgers. So that's an excellent strategy on why McDonald's had to zero in on females and their bathroom experience. And they got people at their front counters. So that's a very good one. So you have to understand what a problem is with the niche in the market that you're dealing with. So Lynette would go back to the people that are dealing with their life and burial insurance and figure out what's the common denominator, what's a problem that's in that industry that you can help people with. And then who would you love to work with? So after you figured that out, now who would I love to work with? You've already figured out, what people are needing from you. You've already figured out what you specialize in. You've already figured out who you can help. You've already figured out what everyone is asking you for. So you know what you already specialize in. Now you got to let the rest of the world know that you specialize in it. Let them hear your voice. And where are my people that have this particular problem that I zeroed in and niched down on? So in instance with McDonald's, he knew that mothers a lot of times would be at places where children were. So they went and ran ads into magazines. They were going into dealing with how do we find mothers? Well, we went on the children's commercial channels, right? Because when you see the golden arches on the children's channel, they're yelling McDonald's, and the babies love McDonald's, right? So that was their marketing strategy. They didn't go with the 5 o'clock news for the people that watch news or looking for the chaotic processes in a day. They did not go and put it in the newspaper for people that were reading news. They did not go to anywhere else, but they went to the places where they knew that their customers are. So I ask you the challenge, the next question of, where is your target customer? Not just where she is every so often, but if it's 5 o'clock on a Friday afternoon, where's your customer? So like Lynette said, that she's doing the life and burials, where's your customers at? Who are the most likely customers that are going to come to you? And where will you find them at? So how do you bring your customers in? You don't want to run after them. You're not making money. You're not working for money. You're making money work for you. So you are going into the areas where you are susceptible. Let's get into those areas. Bring myself and my voice there, my marketing strategy there, and draw those people in into my business. And so then when you start talking about who in that industry would you love to work with? So with McDonald's, they didn't just say, we want all women. We can give a clean bathroom, but we want all women. That's not what they said. They targeted family women. They targeted women with children so that they knew that you would have clean bathrooms. Come here into this establishment. Nobody's going to yell at you at the front door like some of the small mom and pop places. You got to be a customer to use our bathroom and flush our toilet, right? No, 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 no. McDonald's said, welcome. They had Ronald McDonald there. You know, you can go ahead. You can come in here. We got clean bathrooms. And you can go ahead and, oh, by the way, you smell that? It smells like burger, right? Yes, we don't have the best burger, but we have a burger. It's available for you at a very affordable price. By the way, since you're in here using the bathroom and it's clean and your baby was able to lay down and you were able to change the baby appropriately, you also, too, can purchase a burger. And so that's what the people did. They purchased the burgers. So once you figure out those few steps, then it helps you with what you're going to do with your marketing strategy and where you can go. A lot of people don't narrow in on these processes. So what they end up doing is they get sidetracked or stuck in where they should be when it comes to strategy to be able to find their ideal customer, right? Which is the one step that we've talked about. So you guys, that was pretty much what I wanted to hear. I would love to hear you work on it, those things, and then, you know, possibly inbox me and tell me what you thought and how it happened for you. Because if you're working by yourself, then that becomes a hard process to end up being able to do yourself, but you want to go ahead and get started. Find out what you specialize in, what you've already done. And then come back and find out what's the pleasurable process to you is in that. Where are the people that you're looking for? What is a problem that they're having? Being able to find out where the market and niche that you have, where to go get it. And so all those things are right there. I pray that you took notes, and I hope that this helps you to be able to go forth and be able to narrow your strategy down even the more, and then be for a success on tomorrow. Once you go and revamp, McDonald's had been open for years on top of years, but they still had to go and revamp their marketing strategy. Right now, we're in a season where everything in our life that we thought or called normal has shifted. Some people feel like it's going to go back to normal. Some people feel like it's not. But the bottom line is, what is the problem that you can help with today in shifting? What is your legacy going to be in this season? What are you going to do to change and make a difference in your business? What are you going to do to change? Make sure, guys, that you are praying first, asking God where you should be and how you should be, and then going through this exercise that we just talked about. And then if you want a copy of the workbook, just go ahead and inbox me or say me here, and then we'll get you a digital copy of the workbook that we'll be releasing. So that's pretty much what we had today. Don't forget to pray daily. Don't forget daily also after you're praying to journal and meditate and write. This is so important. You may not understand it yet. It may not be coming together for you why I say pray, journal, and write. But what you will find out is shortly. When I started saying it before this time frame, everyone was like, wait, what? Now people understand why it's so important. As a prophet, I knew something was shifting. I saw the changing of the guards, but I didn't know that this per se, the titled process, would be here. But God does nothing upon the earth unless he first does what? Tell his prophets. So we were already shifting and prepared for this time season. You know, we do one-on-one coaching. We have a few spaces left for a few women to be able to step in with us. And so women entrepreneurs of faith and a few brave men we take as well. If you would go ahead and inbox me or go to Peaches15, bit.ly/Peaches15, all lower letters, nothing capital. And then they'll take you to the schedule, and you will be able to schedule a 15-minute free consultation with me so that we can get a little bit of talk and a slight bit of clarity on what you're doing to know what you can do in the next step. And then if you and I are in the same place where you are believing God to supernaturally do things in your business, and then you're looking for coverage and over the business as well, and you're looking to be able to go forth with structure, clarity, strategy, plan, and full structuring your business, then I am your girl. So inbox me if you're interested. And then if not, I will see you tomorrow night, same back time, same back channel, 8:30 for motivation and manifestation in August for your business. Have a great day. Love you guys. Bye.